Hello, Swivelheads. I was trying to go live tonight on my new Swivelheads channel. And if you see here, I have full permission, according to YouTube, to go live on Swivelheads. This is what this third thing here is for. But Zoom won't let me do it. Zoom says, no, you don't have permission to do it. I read here, I've had this permission set up for a few days, but I guess I got more kinks to work out. I mean, I have been working kinks out on my computer for like 2 hours a night. I spent all night last night working out my web page, getting it reestablished. Guys, just all the bugs are driving me nuts. Where's the raid? Where's the raid? Okay, I got to switch over here where I see it. Guys, this is frustrating. I mean, I have been doing nothing but trying to get this other channel going. I put some content on it, and it won't let me go live on it. That's what I intended to do now. I am trying to separate these channels out, separate the kind of materials I put in different places. But I got a lot to cover tonight, my friends. I don't, I'm gonna lose almost everybody who has been part of my internal community by bantering on here. Guys, we got a 1 in 6 chance, according to MIT, professor, 1 in 6 chance of nuclear war. Well, they're still in Ukraine. Just that. There's many other things that could get us. We're supposed to have a 14% chance per decade of the sun taking us out with the Carrington level event. Add them together. You see, it starts adding up. You're talking about 30% chance in a decade something's going to get us. That's worse than Russian roulette. It's like playing Russian roulette twice almost. Yeah, this is nuts, guys. It is insane what's happening right now, what's going on. And yeah, I had my calculator out earlier on this stuff, double checking them. But guys, we're going to get all into this. I'm just going to have to reformat here. I'm going to go back here. We're going to see the chat room because I had it logged in the Swivelhead News thinking I was going to be there. And that's why I'm showing you that bottom line says increased daily video uploads and live streams and eligibility. Yeah, it's all in here. Live streams. When this bottom one says enabled, you're supposed to be able to do live streams. And I've had that set for a few days now. So today's the first day that I have put a video on Swivelhead News, the YouTube channel. 2 shorts. I'll show you those in a little while. And the channel's gone over 100 subscribers within the first day of having a posting on it, that is. So we're very good. So please subscribe to that channel. I will show you stuff on here in a little bit. But guys, I'm really frustrated that I can't go live there. I don't know why. YouTube says I can, but Zoom says no. And the permissions you have to give Zoom to do this stuff, it's like giving permission to delete everything. I'm going, this channel is owned by a Chinese guy. You're supposed to trust it. And so far, they've not gave people any problems, but you're basically giving them permission to delete everything in their channel, change things. And I don't know, I don't like it. But anyway, that's just a whole nother bug and whatever. And it may be a part of what's going on here. Lord knows, I've been so friendly to Xi Jinping. I mean, gosh, wow, why would they have any issue? Well, they really muzzle their people hard. Alrighty, guys. So I'm going to do some screen shares here. Oh yeah, I was going to change this where I can watch you guys and watch the chat room because I'm not looking at the chat room and I got another screen up. I like to watch it over here. I got too many screens up on this computer to watch it. So I am going to close that. Give me a second, guys. One momentum, please. I am going to change channel here. I had logged in to Swivelhead News. No. Switch account. Greg's. And a second. It takes a few seconds. Yeah, I usually have all this stuff set up ahead of time, but I thought I was going to be doing a different channel. For the first time ever, I was going to do it, and I'm really disappointed it's not worked out because that's why I set that channel. I set the channel up mainly to live stream from. That's the purpose of it. It's the live stream. If I can't live stream from, I got some issues because I went through all the chats and did all the little hoops. Jeez. All right. Hang on, guys. Messing up. Oh my gosh. Give me a second, guys. See, I need to have all this stuff set up ahead of time. That's what I try to do because it's just aggravating doing this stuff during the middle of your channel. All right, I should see okay, there we are. Sorry, guys, I got to really apologize. The people who don't watch me regular, 9 out of 10 of them will log off and not watch this video just because I'm sitting here and talking about other stuff. They'll just log out. They'll give it unlikes, and a good number will just unsubscribe. I mean, some people are just so fickle. I mean, who else did get the kind of information we get? Hey, now we got 60 in the room. Very good. Oh yeah, very good, very good, very good. VidCom, oh yeah, a lot of you. Danny, all the regulars. Now see, the regulars aren't going to, you guys aren't going to have any issue. It's, I got about what, 200 or 300 regulars. It's the other 57,000 people that's going to have trouble. So, okay, guys, let's get all into it here. We are going to do a screen share. I'm going to make sure I got the right thing up to share. So I've got Google open, PowerPoint open, Word open, and now the chat room opens up into Edge on this computer. Didn't used to do that. So it's just one more screen. All right, guys. So let's do a screen share, and we're going to go first to Google. Oh yeah, and I got a special treat for y'all tonight. We're going to go through A Country Boy Can Survive, because it's prophecy. It's coming true right now. I swear you're going to be blown away. A Country Boy Can Survive. It's coming true. Hello, VidCom, Titanium, who Billy. All right, I have to go through. I'm already way behind on the chat room. I hate that. Few days. Cha, good to see you. Taz, Matterman, Doomslayer. All right, guys. For those that hadn't watched, this is a live session. We are family on this channel, and we keep our chat to a family level. No wordy dirds. All right, guys. Here is an operative article on the topic at hand. And bite. MIT professor says there's a 1 in 6 chance of nuclear war. My current estimate is about the same as losing in Russian roulette. Yeah, when you have a 6-shooter with the one round in it and you spin the chambers, it's literally a 1 in 6. Actually, unfortunately, his percentage is just a little bit higher, and it only looks at one slice of the pie, because he actually put his flow chart that he used to calculate it, his diagram, here in Twitter. Now, we can't say that all of his assumptions are or are not correct. There's a zillion top-notch experts out there who are arguing over every little point in this. None of them see eye to eye on anything, which means, in essence, we don't know anything. Basically, that's what it boils down. Everybody's got the answer. It's this, it's that. And a lot of you guys come up with that too. Well, it's this. This is definitely the answer. That's almost never the answer, be honest. If you think you got the answer, you ain't got the answer, because ain't nobody knows what the answer is. Everybody, oh, I know what it is. This is going to happen. That's going to happen. This ain't going to happen. That ain't going to happen. Yeah, you're wrong. You're just wrong. I wish life were that simple. Oh my gosh, you know how many times I hear people, oh, they're insistent. They get mad if you don't agree with them. Holy guacamole, catch your breath, guys. All right. This guy is Max Tegmark. Max Tegmark. So he's the biggest Tegmark because he's maximized out. Whatever Tegmark is. I got to have a little fun. You got to have a little fun with Doomsday, guys. What can you say, right? It's called surfing the apocalypse. The apocalyptic wave. All right, guys. So this thing is a flow chart. Pardon me. I am hoarse because I've been yelling at my computer, because I spent like 2 hours trying to put all these things together. I was trying to bring it to you guys earlier, and Norton crashed my computer. Norton crashed everything. You remember, I just did a video on Product Papa's complaining about Norton. Wow. I mean, they took down Norton took down everything. And it was Norton. It was nothing else, just Norton. Jeez. And I've got to finish that little task I was going to do about finding an early replacement for Norton. And apparently I had to replace PayPal too. And I've got to do, geez, I just got my website back up running. Just when it rains, it pours. Okay, guys, not to be griping so much, but here we are. This is his flow chart. You can see my cursor. I'm trying to follow it. To the left, green is de-escalation, which means things are getting more peaceful. Tensions are going down. To the right is escalation. We're heading into worser and worser war, like kaboom. Yeah, that means nukes. And expansion means more nukes. Kaboom here is Ukraine gets nuked, and expansion is it expands to NATO and other countries. So this has nothing to do with war in Korea, Nothing to do with war with China, which we could get in nuclear war with North Korea, with China. I don't know why Libya's on here. Libya's not really a threat. But so he's got David winning and Goliath winning. In this case, David, in his estimation, the underdog would be Ukraine, because he don't think Ukraine has got any better than a 30% chance of winning. However, if Ukraine wins, there's a chance that Ukraine gets nuked. That's what it boils down to. If Ukraine wins, Russia escalates. And then maybe the Goliath is winning. And then, there's kind of a circle here where this goes around and around. But at any point in time where David, according to this guy, which is Ukraine, is winning, you got a 30% chance of this going nuclear. So he doesn't think there's a good chance of Ukraine winning. And if they do, there's a 30% chance. If they win, there's a 30% chance of this thing going nuclear. And I guess he's got an overall, I guess what he's saying here is, all right, I get it now. He's thinking there's a 50-50 chance that one or the other will win. He split it even, because 20% of it goes back here. So that means 30% kaboom, 20% it de-escalates, I guess. I'd have to follow his flow a little better. It could be goes kaboom and then de-escalates and just don't go over here into expansion. But see, that don't add up, because he's got from kaboom an 80% chance of expansion. So he believes, his analysis seems to indicate, he should have some analysis to back up his percentages and whatever, all the assumptions he's made. And, you got to make assumptions, because we don't have our crystal balls. I got a crystal ball, but, it's kind of murky on these things. He says from kaboom, it's 80% chance that we got a world war with NATO. And he sees some chance of it, if it goes here, de-escalation. But overall, he sees a 70% chance really of World War III out of this. So if you multiply 30% times 80%, that says, just take out your calculator and multiply 0.3 times 0.8 times 0.7. You get 0.168. That's a little bit more than 1 in 6. 1 in 6 would be 0.16666 is repeating forever. Well, this is a little bit higher. It's 0.168 when you multiply 30 times 80 times 70. That's just the way it goes. So any other doomsday scenarios would be, see, the percentages are multiplicative, but other doomsday scenarios would be additive. If you've got to add in a war with China, and some people think that's more likely, nuclear war with China, especially since we've said we're going to defend Taiwan. If you add in, take honey from my throat, VidCom, I'm trying to do a low carb diet, like meat only, but that's not a bad idea. I'm drinking a little coffee right now. Yeah, I got hoarse yelling at my computer. I'm hoarse today. Or just now I am. Yelling at Norton. Alrighty, so this is, it's hard to refute him, but it's also, it's, taking it as absolute. I wouldn't do that either, but no matter whether you take it as absolute or not, it's all probability. You can't say, even if none of these things come to pass, you can't say you was wrong, because you can say, well, the percentage was this or that or the other. There's always a chance that either of any of these outcomes in this chart. And the chance of us going into full-scale nuclear war with Russia is, 1 in 6, according to this. A little bit better than 1 in 6. So that's kind of frightening, guys. 1 in 6. That is very high. I mean, well, it's not. It's chances are greater that it is not than it is. Well, let me ask you: if you think that's acceptable, would you take a revolver with 6 chambers, put 1 round in it, spin a revolver, not look, and put it in your temple and pull the trigger? 1 in 6 chance of that kind of outcome is not acceptable. We're talking World War III, end of the world. That's not acceptable. Those chances are way too high. Way too high. Now, everybody's got a reason for why this will happen or that won't happen. And there's also 100 other people that's got another reason why all those reasons are wrong. Oh, I hear it all. I hear it all. Oh, that can't happen because this will make sure it don't happen. And then this guy over here goes, oh, yeah, that ain't nothing. or then he'll go, that ain't nothing, and now you get experts. I mean, you get insiders even from Russia and other places arguing. So, we don't know. That's the truth. We just flat don't know. And I get kind of tired of people just telling me, well, I got the answer. It's this, it's that. Don't worry about it. It's this, it's covered. That's usually when somebody says something's covered, that sounds like the letter with a big oval and a squiggly tail. Well, that's what they tell you all the time. Oh, don't worry about this. We got it all covered. Don't worry, you pretty little head. We got it all covered. And they never have it covered because they're liars. The people that and that, the people that promote that are liars. It's a psyop. Hey, Catherine, thank you very much, Catherine. Well, that's one good advantage of coming in here tonight is I'm not monetized on swivel heads and I can't get the super chats. Thank you there, Catherine. You made it worth being here tonight. Thank you very much. I got to read through all this stuff, Florida. We have sinkholes. I guess you do in Florida. Holy guac and smoke-a-moly. Be a good way to get rid of some bad apples, though, right? How about peanut butter? Or from my throat? Well, I'll eat peanut butter's got a lot of stuff in it. It's kind of carby. I can eat nuts. I'll eat some few nuts from time to time. Country girl, how you doing? 52 on the likes. I appreciate that. We got 112 in the room and only 54 thumbs up. So, okay, I did start off kind of rough because I was complaining about trying to get access because it was my objective tonight to run this show on Silverhead News. According to YouTube, I have full permission, but Zoom don't recognize it, and I don't know why. That don't even make sense, and I ain't gonna have time to figure it out tonight. But anyway, so here we are. According to this guy's projection, he's an MIT professor, for whatever that's worth. I'm sure there's another MIT professor sits right next to him who would probably argue with him. So, but in any event, this is his projections, his calculations, and I'm sure he's got some big write-ups that justify every little step and every number he's picked in here. But anyway, that's what it is, guys. So that's an MIT professor's, and it's not a bad stab at it. It really isn't, but because we are at risk, and the real risk, why this leg exists here at all, and I've explained this a million times in many videos, is when you get a strong man over here, his survival depends on winning. When you're a strong man and you lose, you're not a strong man anymore. You get overthrown. And when you were the head oligarch, when you were the head honcho, when you're the head autocrat in a system, and you get overthrown, most of the time you get terminated. And so Putin is in this for his life. Now, he just made some suggestions about backing off, but he also threw another curveball, like he might be conditionally, might hit him still again. So what's all that? So, what do you think? One side's right or wrong? I'm not debating that tonight. I'm just telling you the what is, okay? What it could be, what can happen, and what kind of motivations are involved. I will tell you this: both sides are wrong, and so people argue with that. No, this side ain't wrong, that side ain't wrong. All sides are. All governments are wrong. That's where I'm coming from. All nations and most states are corrupt to the core. All of them. All of them. Read this. ALL. First 3 letters of my name. I know how to spell all. All states are corrupt to the core. Some are worse than others. If you got checks and balances and are adequate, you might do a little better. Sometimes it's easier to see our corruption, not maybe some other side, but they're all corrupt. And we'll talk about that because the real solution is to find a way to get rid of states and nations, all of them. And that's the good news toward the end. I'm going to show you there's some movements afoot that may take us in that direction. Literally, if we can get through this mess, the world on the other side could be really amazing, peaceful, prosperous. That's what we're trying to get to, guys. And hopefully we can do it without the kaboom. But if there is a kaboom, we got to figure out how to shake it off, survive, get up on the other side, and build a new world. That's our mission. 1, try to avert kaboom. If we fail to avert kaboom, we try to survive, thrive, stay out of the hive. Of course, after kaboom, the hive might be shattered. And the hive's got some issues. It turns out the hive may have some issues. So hang on, guys. I don't care for either side. I only care for my country. There you go. There you go. Have no Gatorade. Uh-oh. Lordy, I'm not drinking Gatorade anymore. Too sugary. Why don't you go to the EBT food stamps? Oh, Oh, Granny, you're suffering that bad? Okay, I didn't catch the whole message there. All righty. Hey, Nunu, how you doing? Shake it off. All right, so we're going to go to the next pages here. Yeah, just think about this. So 1 in 6 chance of nuclear war because of what's going on with Russia. What's the chance of nuclear war with China? Most people think that's greater than 1 in 6. They think that's higher than this one. If you put the two together, that's definitely 1/3. And then you almost get another third for a chance of within a decade of a solar coronal mass ejection. So, guys, if you add all these together, yeah, and other little stray things that could happen, meteor and or big supervolcano, which those are very tiny in any given year. But if you just add everything up, it looks like with everything going on in the world right now that we've got a 2/3 probability of civilization we know it not surviving a decade unless we do something about it. But if you got a decade to work on it, if we don't hit it now, we can do something about it. 1, we can get our grid hardened, but we got to push. 2, we can form our own resilient communities. Okay, there's many things we can do, many things, especially if we got time to work on them. A decade is a fair bit of time. I'm blacking out. Oh, Lord. Granny, you got anybody around you? Okay, I'm just catching some of this. Granny, is there anybody there with you? Can't go anywhere. What the heck? Anybody in Utah that can get to Granny? Is there anybody here? Hey, does anybody here able to get to Lee's network? And maybe contact Lee and let him contact people in Granny's area? Granny says no. All right, yeah, just put some sugar and some water, Granny. Granny, are you diabetic? Had computer issues trying to get my stupid Norton crashed my computer. Well, I love Norton so much. Granny, I promise if you eat meat and organs and fruit every meal, you will feel better. Well, I eat some meat, I mean, pretty much. But you do need to eat organs with it. Markello, there you go, VidCom. If there's anybody in the network that might be able to summon some help for Granny there. I mean, it's not all just Lee. 911, Granny, call 911. There you go. I think Markello, and there should be some other people can activate that network and use it like that. I know Markello can. Alrighty, guys. Granny, call 911. I thought y'all was talking to me at first. Hey, Brandy, how you doing? Because I had a hoarse throat. I didn't realize that Granny was on there having some more issues. See it now. All right, I will continue this stuff. For those watching, hey, we're a family here, guys. Try to take care of each other as best we can with this. No scary stuff for EMS. That's what EMS is there for. And that's not so scary. Guys, this is why you need to consider prepping, though. You need to go to prepwithgreg.com while you still can get good deals. Food prices are going to go off the roof high, guys. Let's see, Brandy. Hey, Brandy, I'm hearing a few birds right now. I'll call my neighbor. 911 told me never call them. Well, Granny, you're saying your neighbor said don't call 911 or don't call your neighbor? I mean, there's nothing wrong with calling 911. Don't let some neighbor talk you out of it unless your neighbor is going to help you. If your neighbor is going to help you, then get there faster. If you got a neighbor to call that will come help you, call the neighbor. They can get there faster than 911. But I call 911, EMS, whatever you want to call it. This is our personal 911. Give it a consider, guys. Prepwithgreg.com. And if you've got your food stored every rafter in your house, you can come in here and click on other things. Just click the My Patriot Supply link. They got canned heat, nice little stove. They got survival items, water filtration. Hey, man, I'm a coffee guy. Seeds, air purification. That water filtration, guys, that is something that you ought to consider. And many other kinds of emergency food, including number 10 cans. Oh, hey, we got a super chat. Ace Batsu. I don't know, I'm probably not saying it right. How you doing, Ace Batsu? Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I really appreciate the super chats tonight, guys. Like I said, that's one of the good advantages of coming in here on Green Regs is the channel I was trying to get on tonight would not allow me to get super chats. So, all right. So 911 told me never to call them. Granny, that's bogus. That's what they're for. That's what they're for. If you need them, call them. Otherwise, call a neighbor. If you got a neighbor to call them. But why didn't the worm cross the road? It ate its own road. All right. So everybody keep an eye on Granny here. All right, guys. A lot of things are happening. The Russian Federation has 2 million mobilized at hand with potential of 29 million. Well, that's the whole population. Well, that's kind of a bogus number. Yeah, they may be able to mobilize 29 million, but with what? What are they going to do? Give them straws and spit wads? They don't have that many nugs. They darn sure don't have that many tanks and pieces of artillery. So that's kind of a pointless number. Yeah, they got that many. Well, I heard they only had 6 million men of eligible age. So is this every? I don't know. So that's a big number for what I've heard. Between certain age, within the normal acceptable age group, they only had 6 million men. So they may be going from the 18-year-olds to 60 years old, or the 50-year-olds, or something like that. So what do you say? Did I say it wrong? I suppose I did. Sorry about that, Ace Batsu. Yeah, I'm sure I'm getting it wrong. My apologies. Cop told you never call 911. Well, what authority does he have to tell you that? He's not a county authority. That's right. Catherine says they have to show up. If you're sick and you need help, get help. Don't let some little thing like that prevent you, especially if your life depends on it. Yeah, she said she needed Gatorade. Don't have that. Do you have any, Granny? Do you have any food at home? They can't deny you treatment. Cha-Cha's right. Yeah, there's a lot of cops out there, Granny. They're idiots. They're idiots. They don't know jack diddle about anything. They'll just pontificate. Well, blah 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 blah. You know, some cops have got about half of the brains of a doorknob. There's some smart ones out there, but there's some that aren't smart. So don't let that stop you. Do what you got to do. Take care of yourself. If you're blacking out, you need a CT scan your brain. It might be your pulse. Your heart rate may be too high. A high heart rate will cause you to near black out. I've been there. My problem at the time was lack of magnesium, I found out. So I found ways to increase my magnesium level without medications. This is how I did it. And when I'm eating tree nuts, not peanuts. Peanuts don't do you no good. Peanuts no good. They're not a tree nut. You got to have something that pulls the magnesium from deep in the ground, which is a tree. Tree nuts have done the trick for me time and time again. Wow, what did Ace Batsu say? New days? He actually gave us a super chat. And he just said no earlier. I guess I pronounced his name wrong. All right, New Day. So what's going on? What's going on with Ace Batsu? Yeah, you can't be in here saying dirty stuff, guys, or attacking or being racist and stuff like that. We don't permit that here. And oh, okay. Yeah, we don't permit foul language in here, guys. He might be having a little bit too many spirits tonight. Elders is tough. Discipline. Okay. All right, guys. So Russia does have resources. I mean, if their people are committed, and if they, now this is not a Russian, it's talking about Russia. This is a Ukrainian guy there. I don't know why they got a letter, a headline about Russia, and they're showing a picture of Ukrainian. But that's the kind of stuff you get with these dumb articles. That's the kind of stuff that dumb articles do. Okay, it's probably talking about this, probably a Ukrainian general or something. But that, you know, how many times you see an article talking about this space launch system, and they'll show a picture of a space shuttle or something like that, or some future launch system. They'll show, even talking about SpaceX, they'll show a picture of a space shuttle, because the people writing articles don't know what the devil they're talking about half the time. But they go through the editorial and they get approved and they get published. And if you actually work inside of a program and you see a journalist come out to report on it, you'll know about half what they say is bunk, because they don't know what they're writing. They just put stuff in there. Anywho, so let's move on. But Russia does have resources. They got manpower. If Russia wanted to fight and win, they could. I'm not sure that's what they want, because the people there seem to not want to be a part of it. Few days, still not perfect, but I believe he was saying it to YouTube because they wouldn't let him. Oh, he actually did give me a super chat, Cha. There he is. Okay. Not saying to Greg. Okay. All right, Ace. Well, we don't use that language anyway. Don't use that language. Good to see you back, because I knew you gave me a super chat. And so I didn't think that's what you were about, because we were kind of talking. All right, cool. Just watch your language. Don't say the F word. Just don't say the F word. That's all. Or wordy dirds. Watch the wordy dirds. I don't know what you said. I didn't see it, but you know, the mods, they're like hawks. They'll get you. Because it sounds like other health issues happening now. Potassium could be fatal if there are cardiac issues at the moment. Well, the level you get from food will be very low. All right, Ace, we don't understand you there. Oh, YouTube, not YouTube. Well, it comes out looking like, are you talking to your screen, Ace? Ace, are you talking to your screen? Are you using voice? And you're maybe saying YouTube, it's coming out YouTube. I don't use the F word. Don't use the F word, Ace. I don't think Ace means it. He's probably got some diarrhea. So you have lost water. Well, drink water, drink fluids. Now, Katie is really good with this kind of stuff. Maybe Katie can talk to you. I started if she was diabetic. All right, Pilgrim. All righty, so like I said, this is kind of suspect here. There's not even no point in talking about the potential 29 million. So what? Yeah, what are they going to do with the 29 million people? And they didn't even have enough rifles passed around. The guys are sending out there. Seriously, they're sending units out there with just a few rifles for several men. But Ukraine is pumping us for more money. Why don't they pump the rest of Europe? Why do we need to be ponying everything up for them? Europe needs to be carrying, shouldering. If Europe is worried about Russia coming in on them, they need to pony it up. All right, but guys, there is hope. In Tehran, there is protest. It's been going on for weeks now. It's against the government there. The protests are growing because people are tired of being ruled by an autocracy. In Russia, they're pushing back against being sent to Ukraine. Now, this is a little bit much. Russian army mutiny as troops reported to kill their commander and surrendered because they got low, their morale plummets. If you send guys into combat, you give them 1 day training, which is what I'm hearing, and you give them 1 rifle for about every 6, 8, 10 people. Yeah, they're not going to have any morale to start with. So what, you send me to combat with us? No, I was furious when Carter's army, I was in Carter's army, and they almost sent my unit of 250 people into Iran, and we only had 40 functional M16s. Same business. Yeah, we've done this. And I was furious. Looking up Gatorade recipe. Okay, Granny. I'm sure there's sugar. Foul language refers to and fertilizer terms. Yeah, if it's fertilizer and just fertilizer, that's cool. Let's just don't be cursing in here. All right. So, man, I hadn't seen you in a while. Good to see you back. All right, let's go on here. I don't want to be what I'm getting to the better side of this, but I'm going to also go through a little PowerPoint presentation I've made to show you that we are living in the prophetic times of the prophecy of a country boy can survive. So that's what's coming. All right. Now, even in China, there's a movement. And it's reported that 400 million members of the Communist Party, they can't technically quit, but they can quit participating. I mean, once a party member, always a party member, supposedly. But Fung, shoot, I can't even talk right now. Well, I'm crossing words in my mind here. The Falun Gong, I was trying to say feng shui. I got the fungs crossed. Feng shui is not Falun Gong. Yeah, it's late, guys. I've been up for a long time. I got up earlier this morning to the farmers market. The Falun Gong movement has been promoting a movement for people that are in the Communist Party just to quit participating. It's growing. This might be a way to bring down the CCP. It's actually growing, and it's really picking up steam now since the all the shutdowns. I mean, right now there's 200 million. Right now, 200 million people are shut down in China over the zero COVID policy. It's not well. Well, they just do what we do. I mean, you know, we just decided to live with it. You know, hey, you know, no point in shutting down whole countries. But you know, that's the policy of Xi Jinping. Granny Atlanta sending love, protection, healing. Yeah, we got to do some praying for Granny tonight. We're going to do a prayer session tonight. The oxygen levels can make you dizzy, and that's what you can get to when your pulse rate is too high. That's why I talked about eating foods with magnesium or potassium, like it was a banana or something like that. I don't think having a banana would hurt you, or having little nuts, tree nuts, if you had them. Some water. The tree nuts, one of the things you're supposed to get from Gatorade is electrolytes. If you're eating something with a little salt in it, it might get your electrolyte up, or maybe you need sugar. I don't know. All right, you mods can take care of her. It's hard for me to follow every little thing said. Well, who, Billy? That is a question a lot of people worry about. If you've got to have insulin shots, what are you going to do when you can't get them? The ability to not get medicine, there's going to be a lot of problems, and that's not the only medical issue when it hits the fan. It's not the only medical issue, but that's one of the top ones. Cherries drop your sugar out, so maybe the diabetic people need to do some things. Now, it's my understanding that some people have reversed type 2 diabetes with a very low carb diet over a long period of time. Now, most diabetics do maintain a pretty low carb diet, except for those occasions when they need sugar in their system. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking there, Jason. It's not easy and there's risk in it. But if you can't get the medications, you have no choice than to try non-medicated routes of controlling it. So you need to study those. If you've got diabetes and it hits the fan, you better understand non-medicated methods of control. There's some New Days and I talked about. Where did she go to? New Days, I hadn't seen her in here a bit. You still in New Days? Oh, I haven't seen New Days in a bit. Last thing she says, being dehydrated can also make you dizzy, grainy. You Daisy, you still with us? Why didn't make her mad? When I asked her why she hid Ace, it was not the intent of one salt, two sugar. I got a message from her directly or anything. Ding, 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 ding. We got like one on here tonight, folks. Oh, she hasn't messaged me directly. She's not been in our chat, sir. Oh, there you are. Good. Getting worried about you. We're being quiet, girl. Just worried about you. People get quiet, I get worried, especially when they're typically not so quiet. Yeah, New Days. I don't know if you got any advice for Granny Lana. She seems to be in a world of need here. Oh, you're working tonight. Okay. Well, thank you for being here. All right. So here's the good news. In Iran, they got autocratic government. The people are standing up to it. In China, there's a possibility. See, China's a hard nut to crack because they've got more people in an internal police force to maintain their population than they got an external army. They're more afraid of their citizens than they are their enemies. Think about that. China, the CCP, is more afraid of their citizens than they are their enemies. Actually, that's what a government should be. But not having a police state like that. Wow. So, and they have, they've got the cards that people can't travel. If you're, that little, you got close to the bug card, if it shows that you got close to a bug, they will turn the color code to red and you can't travel. And they politically turned the color code of a lot of people's cards just because they didn't like what they were doing. Chinese police, yeah, that's another problem. We don't need them here. Who let them do that? Yeah, that's a whole nother bugaboo. Yeah, who in the world in America lets a foreign country run a police force on their soil, especially when they are punishing people for things they ought not punish them? It's a horrible situation. It should have never been allowed. Anyway, well, Elon Musk is kowtowing to him too because he's looking his bottom line was selling Teslas in China. Tisk Musk kind of rhymes. Tisk Musk. Anyway, so there's hope, guys. There's hope. We'll go into this more. Oh yeah, I did a couple of videos on my new Soilhead News channel. A couple of shorts. And this was the basis for one of them. And this article was a basis for the other. I'm sure y'all have seen this Creepy Joe with a girl. Where's the picture at? I hope I shouldn't be scanning these whole articles. Yeah, Creepy Joe. Creepy Joe. Called him Sniffy Joe. And if y'all haven't seen it, guys, this is my Swivelhead News channel. And it's got 117 subscribers. So more people looked at this video than subscribed to my channel, either one of these. This has got 168 views. It's got 128 views. And I only got 117 subscribers according to this. Let me hit the refresh button. Refresh. Okay, we're 123 subscribers. Just up a little bit. We got 177 views on this video. I put this video up first, but this is getting more views. That's interesting. Here I'm talking about Sniffy Joe, and here I'm talking about the Gates of Bill, if you know what I mean. That's getting more. Yeah, I put on some glasses because Bill Gates always wears glasses. So this is my new channel. Let's bring guys goodbye. You did not listen to or investigate what happened, and your mods con me out just trying to talk. All right, Ace, I'm trying to run a show. The mods are supposed to watch each other too. Sorry about that. I did ask, and I did ask one of them why they timed you out. I did do that. And then I came back, if you recall. I came back and said, you were probably talking into your phone. So I was defending you the whole time. And you're back in the channel now. So you were hidden. That when somebody hides you, you're gone for, you can never comment. Somebody unhid you based on what I said. So you're back in here, you're chatting. So, you know, some of the mods are a little overzealous. They're trying to protect the channel. And I understand that. But, you know, I was defending you there, Ace. Hey, Amanda, how you doing? So share this. Ding, ding, ding. All right, come back into this room because, all right, here we are, guys. CCP in Australia. That's scary, Amanda. Yeah, they're here too. New York City and Toronto. They should not be having police forces all over the world. They dwell in Sydney. That's scary. Yeah, we don't need that kind of stuff. It's spy on us. It's steal our stuff. All right. All right, guys, there's the Silverhead News channel. Yep, no kidding, Amanda. So, man, I've made the case here earlier that all governments are evil, and that we need to outdate them. And, you know, one thing is, if you got one country that's trying to conquer everybody else, then you got to have another country able to defend themselves against them. But if the peoples around the world can come together, I got just put the link in for Silverhead News. Go subscribe to it, guys. If the people in the world can get together on the idea of overthrowing these governments, getting them off their shoulders, I mean all of them, every single national government on earth, and most states, which are no way of saying national, just in the United States, it's state means state, it means country, but in the United States, well, many of our states are bigger than a lot of other national governments, so it's the same thing. Yeah, you're right, Amanda. So but you know what I was showing earlier, you probably missed it, Amanda, is there's movements in a lot of these countries do just that, including China. And yeah, I've seen a lot of beautiful Chinese people, guys. I've seen a lot of beautiful Russian people. I've seen beautiful people from all over the world, every country. It's good people. I've always said it's good people from every country, village, hamlet in the world. It's the governments that play us against each other and take advantage of us. They use our tax money against us to pit us against each other, because that's the power games they play. Totally Russia and China's overhaul. That's all I can say. But all the water is frozen 40 years here. Never seen mosquitoes and not covered. Don, where you at? Where you at? What they did this war, grave people are walking up to the, yeah, exactly. So I've said all along, I felt like we were being played against each other because Putin was really tight. I mean, super tight with Charles Schwab. Not Schwab. Oh boy. Klaus Schwab. Gosh, Carl Schwab's the finance guy. He was really tight with him. I've seen videos of him talking to him at length, like just a few months before all this stuff happened. Videos. Well, because with the bug, they weren't getting together. But you know, you see plenty of times they were together shaking hands. Where in Alaska are you, Don? Where in Alaska? Now, Don, I've seen mosquitoes in Alaska in March. I mean, interior Alaska, up on Donnelly's Dome. If you know where Donnelly's Dome is, I was bivouacked on Donnelly's Dome in March with snow on the ground, and I had a shelter, and didn't get to, you know, you're supposed to have shelter halves. Troops are supposed to put shelter halves together, and the other guy and I weren't seeing on terms, so we basically just used the shelter halves as blankets to wrap up in the snow. Greg, I'm not home, so I can't drop the links for you now. Yeah, I figured that's why I dropped the link. You said you were working. That's what I figured out. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I know Klaus is no relation. I just messed up. It just brain fire. Guys, I've been up for a long time. Long time. I did a random call. I answered. I had a random call. I answered was Chinese talking, then English. Repeated this as the Chinese embassy. Oh, we're calling you. Delta Junction. Are you in Delta Junction? Are you in Delta Junction? Wow, that's the town right next to Fort Greely. I was stationed at Fort Greely. You're in Delta, Don? Really? That's like hometown almost to me. It's hometown Alaska, Delta Junction from way back. I was there from 81 to 83. Claude, Klaus, Clyde. Totalitarian names. There you go. All totalitarian names. Well, what in the world? You know, guys, sometimes there's comments pop up, and I don't even see them. Until first thing I see is they're deleted before I even see them. I don't know what that was. Let's see. Hmm. Delta Junction. Delta Junction. Well, I can tell you, I was in Delta Junction when I got the very first fast food restaurant. At the time, our weather would get like 60 to 80 below up there. When I go look at the weather up there in the last few winters, I'm not seeing anything. It looked as cold as Montana used to get, for Pete's sake. New Day's got a link now. Sub-zero dude, biggest thing that people need to be worried about. So other people, yeah, that's true. Good to see you raining in California. So guys, Delta Junction, our first restaurant opened when I was a first fast food restaurant. There was a restaurant there called and it's still there. There's still a Trophy Lodge there, but it's not the Trophy Lodge I knew. One I knew was in a log building that burnt down. And it's got different managers. Really been active lately. I believe so, Don. Wouldn't surprise me. Now, Fort Greely was built to supply Russia. We supplied, just like we're supplying Ukraine today, we supplied Russia in World War II, all kind of stuff. We supplied Russia big time during World War II. In fact, some of the armaments they had after World War II came from us. We supplied the heck out of them. And it all flew through the airfield at Fort Greely, Allen Army Airfield. It's been a meteorological team there since 1947, and I hadn't checked back in the last few years, but for decades, there had not ever been a month without straight line winds in excess of hurricane force. The wind would blow up there, and it didn't blow all the time, but it would blow at least once every month, hurricane force, with wind gusts to 100 miles an hour or over. You could literally take your feet and straighten them out on a road, which would be covered with ice, open your parka, and the wind would push you across the road. Yes, you could sail. And the first fast food restaurant at Fort Greely, when we were having 60 and 80 below zero temperatures, was a Tasty Freeze ice cream shop. Now that's Alaska. You're driving and you're having to choose between, would your feet freeze or could you see out of a small circle in your windshield? So you'd be switching on the defroster for a little bit and then switching to the heater and back and forth. You had plastic bubbles on the side windows or back windows so that hoarfrost wouldn't form on, but that hoarfrost is frost that forms inside your windshield. I mean, hoarfrost can get thick in a hurry. So you're trying to not have hoarfrost through the circle you're looking out. I mean, you can't put the plastic there. So you're blowing heat from your heater. Your radiator is totally covered over with cardboard or something. You got a percolator or something, the engine heater, and a battery blanket, and you got to have thermal. You got a special Arctic grade wire to connect all that up because the stuff cords that we get down here won't work up there. They get stiff. And so here you are trying to figure out whether you're going to freeze your feet or be able to see where you're driving. It's so cold, and maybe like 60 below zero, and you're on your way to get an ice cream. That's Alaska. I get home from work at 0600 hours. This crack open a beer and cook up a steak. They look, get my neighbors, and they see me finishing off a beer out of the front yard. Alaska. Are you in Alaska too, Sub-Zero? I know Alaskans will have Bloody Marys for breakfast. Hey, Scott, how you doing? All right. David Potter, my uncle used to have a quick freezer that was minus 96 degrees. Yeah, you didn't stay in there long, I bet. Ooh. Yep. No, well, it got in the winter of 1981 to 82. One night, it got to 80 below zero at Bolio Lake. That was on our test range. So on the main base where I was living, it got to 79 below zero ambient temperature. So I've seen 79 below zero. Barbecue 40 below zero. You done that? So guys, when you go outside, you got to wear an EVA suit. You don't walk out with bare hands and pick up wrenches. Your hand will freeze to it. Yet the people that did not live where they had power had to take their batteries out and take them in their house at night, then bring them back the next morning and reinstall them in their vehicle. And you know, they'd probably have to put a kerosene heater under the oil pan because everything will be frozen. You had to have Arctic grade lube in all the joints, and like every wheel is got, and every U joint, and all the joints in the drive shaft, especially all those little U joints. So there's these little bearings, you call them pin bearings. The lube that we run here in the rest of the country will not work very well, freeze solid. So you have to have a lighter grade lube. The problem is, as soon as it warms up, that lighter grade lube is like lubricating with water. It's like useless. So you had to change and repack your bearings twice a year. You got to pack in the late fall, early winter for Arctic grade, and then you had to take that stuff out and repack them again in the spring. You had to repack your bearings, all your bearings, twice a year. No, Alaska's hard. Alaska's tough. And when you take them bearings out to repack them at the end of the winter, put in the regular lube, they'd be ground up. Pin bearings will look like little pebbles. They'd be ground up. I was driving on an ice road, mind you, because all the roads are covered with ice practically. I've had people down here. I've had state trips. Oh, it's impossible. You cannot drive on ice. Oh, really? No, you can drive on ice. No, yes, impossible. I said, listen, sir, I've done it. No, you can't do it. You cannot drive on ice. I said, you have no clue what you're talking about because I've done it. It's how I lived for 2 years. Anyway, so imagine you're driving on ice, going down the road, and your stern column shatters. Okay, it's hard enough to steer on ice as normal, but just imagine, yeah, I had a stern column shatter. Never had it happen anywhere else other than Alaska. One day I went to crank my vehicle up. You know, a vehicle automatic transmission's got a ring gear connected to a torque converter. And a ring gear is a flywheel with literally a ring of teeth welded onto it. And it's all inside this thing called a bell housing. I hit my starter and I heard wang, 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 wang. I knew what happened right off the bat. So, oh, no. The ring gear stripped off that flywheel when I hit that starter. It just broke it right off. All those welds shattered and it was rattling around inside that bell housing. Oh my God, you got to be kidding me. That's exactly what happened. You would put your vehicle with the Arctic grade lube in reverse and your vehicle still wouldn't move. Even with Arctic grade lube in it, it'd be sitting there. And so you'd race the engine and you just start slowly creaking. And my mind's eye, I would say all them little pin bearings just ripping up, just tearing up. It's like, I know, just stuff's all tearing up. But it's what it takes to move the vehicle. And when you got started, if it's like 40 below, 60 below, wherever the tire's sitting on the ground, it's got a flat spot. And you're driving along, and it's like riding a horse, clump, 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 clump. And it's called the square tires, what they call it. So you're driving along, it's clump, 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 clump. Alaska's entertaining, but Alaska's beautiful. It's the most beautiful state I ever saw, bar none. I would say there's no state in America that's more pretty than Alaska. Granny, I hope you're well. I hope you're well, Granny. Hope everybody else is taking care of you, Granny. There's no state that's pretty than Alaska. Alaska's like a woman, pretty, but deadly. Oh my gosh. Alaska kill you in a wink. You gotta know what you're doing, especially when you get temperatures that cold. Hey, Gail, how you doing? Good to see you here. Good to see you. All right, so TD never been anywhere cold enough to drive on ice. Sounds like a challenge. Well, the funny thing is when it gets real cold, you get a little traction unless it's dry, unless it's black ice. Oh, black ice is horrible. That stuff, you can't walk on it. Even that stuff is awful. HARP's been active. I thought they shut HARP down, Don. Did they reactivate HARP? My brother lives in Kodiak. Yeah, HARP was down the road, down it's Galena, Alaska. I've driven by there before I drove through there before they ever put that in. GG, I'm here alone, no help. Granny, call 911. They still got to come. They still got to come, Granny. Taz, what's going on, man? Somebody talking hate stuff in here. So everybody let's play nice, folks. At minus 40, cars are hard to start. That's saying it mildly. Yeah, it's tough on them. It's tough on them. Now I gotta say, when I got back to Alabama, we had one of the coldest winters I ever saw. That first year I got back to Alabama, I got 10 below. But I had a battery blanket on my truck. I had an engine heater in my truck, and 10 below felt great to me. Oh man, I love that. Because I nearly died the summer before. 10 below was great. I was happy. That was probably the only time I walked outside in Alabama when you breathe the air and you feel it freezing in your nose hairs like you would in Alaska. That felt good. And I was driving. Nobody else could drive, but I had a battery blanket and an engine heater in my car, a truck. I had a pickup truck. I had to drive anywhere. Nobody else could go anywhere. Yeah, around here, when you drive, you don't worry. If you learn the skills, you can know how to drive in that stuff. The problem is nobody else knows how to do it, and everybody run over you. The worst thing is you get cars going up a hill, they'll stop every time. As soon as they stop, they're sliding back down the hill. They can't, no control. They can't stop. They're idiots. They don't realize they got to keep that momentum going. They don't realize they probably need to drop a wheel off on the other side of the curb, going where you can get some traction. No, they'll go up that hill and then they'll come sliding down. They're a cannonball heading right at you. So, geez, you give them a lot of room because you know they're idiots. It's like, okay, I'm going to take that guy get all the way to the top of the hill because he ain't going to make it. He's going to stop and he's going to slide down because he ain't got sense God gave last year's bird nest. So I just sit here and wait on him. But I know what he's going to do, and he'll do it every time. So I'll try to figure that out. If you didn't figure it out, you'd be in a collision. And I've saw people do that too. Crash, crash. So, but I loved Alaska. I really did. I really loved it. So what are you doing in Alaska? UAA got it, but more. Oh, they're more active? University of Alaska, Anchorage. I've been to the campus of University of Alaska in Fairbanks. In fact, I got a picture that I made from that campus. This picture was taken at University of Alaska, Fairbanks. Me and Gerard K. O'Neill. Come on, focus. Come on, stupid camera. I was able to do this the other night and it focused. Come on. Camera don't want to focus on it tonight. Yeah, skinny guy right there. That's me. There we go. That's a 1981. The winter of 1981. See, my fingernails dirty. Been outside working. That's 1981. Oh, now we're not focused again. That's me and Gerard K. O'Neill. This is the guy who come up with this, the O'Neill Cylinder Space Colony concept. Yep. I was a soldier at Fort Greely, Alaska back in the day. 80,000 pound semi just skating down the road. Yeah. That's what you get. Gail, I'm late, but we did touch on the possibility of Putin turning off energy oil during the coming winter. The speculation. Well, yeah, that's kind of back and forth, but the flow of energy has reduced quite considerably for several factors. Part of it being sanctions from the West Part of it being Putin. Putin's turned off some. The West has sanctioned some. Pipeline, Nord Stream's been attacked. There's a lot of stuff going on. It's very complex. Russia lets them make the sales, but Russia actually, no, it's kind of unclear. At one point, they're claiming they needed a turbofan that wasn't working, but some people wondering if it was just Russia not wanting to deliver because they were wanting to punish Europe. So there's just a lot of things playing in, guys. There's a lot of propaganda, but the bottom line is there is less fuel going into Europe this winter, and the prospects are it may be worse than next winter. As we know, there was less fertilizer because a lot of the fertilizer is fuel based, and I've covered that in one of my other videos in great detail. Look up Food 9/11. Not only I talk about the shortages in the Food 9/11 video, but I talk about what to do about it. It's below 30, but it's warm inside. Okay, Granny. Granny, we can pray for you. Is there anybody in Utah that's anywhere close to Granny? If we can get somebody on Lee's network, maybe they can get to her. Wearing my sidearm tonight. Hey, Drops, I got one right here at my knee. Show it. Maybe I can show the belt loop at the bottom. See if I can raise it slowly, like getting it in the camera. Like the sun trying to rise over the horizon. Let's see. Wow, I've got it real high. Still not in camera. There it is. Yeah, I don't want to get this channel platform excited yet. You're not supposed to be. Videos aren't supposed to be about that kind of stuff. It'll be minus 30, 40, and 50 soon. Okay, Catherine. Where are you at, Catherine? Oh, yeah, I've asked you that before. Taz says, I would imagine eating a lot of fish in Alaska. Oh, yeah. The salmon up there are great. I love smoked salmon. Smoked salmon is, I've had some great, a lot of good fish up there. All right, Granny, I get you live in the sticks. You still need to call 911. This is a P89. P89, that one's a DC. I got two P89s. You're fine. I hope you are, Granny. I'll watch Greg poke snow on his roof. I don't get no whole lot. Well, I did get out in the tent here a few times, not tent, in my greenhouse. Gosh, that greenhouse is damaged. I still haven't got it totally recovered. I was hoping to replace all this stuff this summer, and I hadn't got enough round to it. I wish I had 1/10 or 1/20th the skills my grandma. There you go. Those people had the skills, guys, for surviving. Deer hunting has started. Smoked salmon with bourbon butter. You can't fish with live bait in Alaska. It's illegal, but you don't need it. It's then when I was there. I remember when I first got up there, I helped Ed Kiker with a Boy Scout troop. We went out to Twin Lakes, up there above Delta Junction, and yeah, and there's a lake on one side, lake on the other side, and there's people. It's the month of May, and there's people ice fishing on a lake up there in the month of May. The one on the back side of the mountain, across from us. So that would be the one that was more easternly, a little bit bigger than the lake that is right next to us. And there was no sod covered log cabin up there too. But anyway, the kids there said, "Hey, we're going to go fishing," and they just had a little stringer and just a little bit of string and some hooks. And I kind of snickered to myself, these kids think they're going to catch some fish. An hour later, they come back, that string was full of fish. How's Ed? Ed is not done well, Brandy. He's went to a assisted living. He's had some seizures and some issues. I've talked to him, but he is. Come up, we'll go see him, Brandy. He'd love to see you. Come up, we'll go see him. Brandy's met Ed Kiker, and he's been in one of my videos. The video about Snowball Earth was with Ed Kiker. I met Ed Kiker. In fact, Ed Kiker is the guy that drove the vehicle that took me to meet Gerard K. O'Neill when that picture was made. Ed Kiker was with me. In fact, Ed Kiker made that pin set I'm giving to Gerard K. O'Neill there. So Ed Kiker has been a friend of mine for a long time, since 1981. Overbuilt, huh? Two of them. Got two of them. We still have a lot of ice fishing in North. Yeah. Sent you a message. Oh, okay. I'll check my little message thing here in a minute. So guys, we need to kind of move on here. I need to go back to share screen. I was going to do this little thing, couple little things here. So, right, hang on. Gotta look it up. Hang on, guys. I'm going to tend to something here real quick. All right, Katie, check yours via telephone. All righty. Randy, Greg, I would like to go see Ed with you. Yeah, come on up, do it. Come on up and let's go see Ed. Make him happy. Phone hamster. I'm from French, English, Irish town. Well, that's an interesting town, phone hamster. French, English, Irish. Sounds like a lot of people I know. Here in America, we're all mutts mostly, right? I've been watching Green Greg's Worm quite a while. Well, thank you there, Mike. So let's do some other screen shares. Did I share everything here? Swivel ahead and use back in here. Let's see if I get any more subscribers on it. 133. Okay. At least 10 of you subscribed, I suppose. Yeah, I was going to do this tonight on Swivel Ahead and on my YouTube channel, Swivel Ahead News. And according to YouTube, I'm authorized to do live cast, but Zoom didn't recognize it. And I don't know why. It didn't make any sense to me. So la. That was why I set that channel up. So I'm gonna have to work one more thing to chase after. I got so little time to chase stuff. Well, Jesse, that's odd. You know, how that happened. Jesse, you gotta watch where you put your tools, man. Don't just leave your tools laying around anywhere. There, I think I found it. Let's see. Dowels, I'm reading some of y'all's stuff here. Just subbed. Hey, thank you there. Appreciate that. I was just copying the URL. New Days Always has been posting it some. Hey, Cha-Cha. Appreciate you guys. All right, so let's see here. I got so many screens open here. Should be here. Here we go. Here is, I'm just going to put, maybe put more content on here. Yeah, I've discovered I can do a lot with limericks for shorts, for videos for shorts. I can write any kind of poetry, guys. I can write poetry, rap, ballads, limericks, freestyle. I can rhyme, but a limerick is about the right length for a short. And you can be to the point with a limerick. You can only make like one point with a limerick, but you can make a point with a limerick. And people like shorts, and they like things that are funny. So I'm trying to make informative, funny short videos. I made 2 so far today. I get to drive the church bus tomorrow. I think that's cool. All right, so I guess you got to call it a night then. Well, we're going to go through check back tomorrow. I'm about to go through this PowerPoint presentation because I'm going to show you guys right now that well, I'm going to do a quick screen. I'm going to do 2 quick screen shares. I'm going to jump over here real fast, and then I'm going to go through this PowerPoint. Good night, Chewy. And this PowerPoint presentation is going to be about why a country boy can survive. It's prophecy. Maybe I should do a separate video on that entirely. What happened? Oh, I was trying to screen share from the wrong screen. How many screens to keep up with here? There we go. Bing, 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 bing. First, I'm going to just show you Swivelhead News. Some of you may have never seen it. It's only got 2 videos on it right now. We were supposed to be live streaming on it tonight. This is, I'll probably change these pictures out. I took that picture of a silo. It's after sunset one night, and it was a real nice picture. That's me. What you can't tell, and the reason I did this photograph is right there is Armageddon gear. So next to me is Armageddon. But you can't read Armageddon, so I'm probably going to change this picture out with something. So this is my first video I did today was Sniffy Joe. And this one is no one trusts me. Yeah, that article I showed, Bill Gates said that basically. And let's see here. Ding, 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 ding. It's weather. Oh, yeah, we're just going to do all that stuff. Maybe not. It's getting late tonight. There you go. One of them. This is Creepy Joe. That was the basis of one article. Bill Gates disappointed. No one trusts him or the healthcare system. Oh, poor Billy. Poor little Billy. We got some rain moving in here tomorrow, theoretically, where I'm at. I understand it's been raining in Arizona. Yeah, Chewy's been doing a lot of logging work, so he's been a busy guy. Oops, went the wrong direction. Amanda, you still with us? Yeah, it's even raining up toward my part. I've been told it's just rain like crazy in Arizona. Yeah, shoot, yeah. Now my property is right about there. It's just right off in this rain. 44, 66 in Tucson, 68 in Yuma. San Diego is just 68, 64 in LA. San Jose is 59. Wow. 61 here. I'll go up to Maine. 52 over there. Alberta. 37 up here in western Alberta. Up north, 32 in high level. 30 over here. 44 in Red Deer. 46 down here. So 46 to 32 in Alberta. Alberta's huge. Well, would you look up here? You're getting some mixed precipitation, looks like. And that's the Alaska Range is right here, guys. Well, I don't know what an exclamation mark is. I guess that must be ice. Get snow here. You must be getting some ice falling in Delta Junction. It's 30 degrees in Delta Junction. All right, we'll go look at Australia real fast. Ding, 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 ding. Since Amanda's in the house tonight. What Australia? How's things down in Australia, Amanda, weather-wise? Wow, warming up in some parts. 80s, 90s. Oh, yeah. 100 degrees here, 104 there. Woo-wee. Sure, close to equator up here. 104 in Catherine. But up here, you got a lot of moisture, and the sea's moderating it more. Wow. Down here in the south, though, and you got the 50s. Tasmania's in the 50s. 70 others. It's a big difference across the big land of Australia. Come and call. Why is somebody calling me on my home phone at this hour? Private caller. Hang on, let me pick this up. Rick Allison speaking. Yeah, I'm doing a live video. But you got reinstated. As I saw. I thought you, but you. Okay, well, I got, that's what mods are for. If I just monitor the chat log, that's all I do. That's why I have mods. But you know, look, I did tell them, I did come to your defense, and I said that live in the middle of the video. I said it live in the middle of the video. I did come to your defense. I said, I thought you were just talking on your phone. Oh, really? What'd you say about China? Biggest ally. No, I'm not buying that one. I got real issues with that. Interesting. Yeah, that's weird. That's weird. Probably here to Huntsville, because they're moving it to here. Okay, well, yeah, I was defending. I was telling people when they put you back in. So you were actually trying to give a bigger super chat, and the system wouldn't let you. Oh. Okay. Okay. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Thank you for everything. All right. All right. Yeah, you're good. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you much. Thank you. Bye. All right, guys. That was Ace. He was just explaining. He was trying to talk in code, and he actually said YouTube did not allow him to donate as much as he wanted to donate. He put a super chat in tonight, small one, and he thought it was because of something he typed. I don't know. It also could be because this platform does not like things I cover. That's why I'm trying to create a separate channel. I want to move some of the content that they don't like over to the other channel, because I don't want Green Greg's canceled, because I also use Green Greg's for my worm business, and it's putting me at risk. No worries, roaches and worms will survive. Depends on how bad it'll survive anything we throw at it, but Mother Nature could take this planet out completely if it wanted to. My grandma said I was prepared for 1933 economy and 1978 winter. She was 89 years young. Okay, Jerry. All right, so let me stop this share. I just want to do my presentation. Yeah, I don't normally answer the phone. I've never answered the phone during a call before, but I figured anybody calling this late, something was up. I figured it either part of the chat or something was seriously going down. So people don't usually call me at this time. All right. Earthquakes. There's a biggie. 5.0. All right, pretty much the normal stuff we usually see. Going at space weather, we're just going to glance at it real quick. There's Venus going around. Sun diving comet. A little bit of a CME coming from the other side. It's quiet on our side, thank goodness. Oops, I was just thinking about what scroll we want to. We had some close encounters. Oh, that's today. Or it was yesterday now. Well, something came halfway between the Earth and the moon. Kilometer, it was 29 meters in diameter. Oh, that's pretty good size at 15.5 kilometers per second. Yeah, that could have made a big boom if it hit us. This was halfway between the Earth and the moon, but there's still a lot of distance. That's 22,000 miles. The Earth is 8,000 miles in diameter. That's a pretty close miss there. We don't know of anything else coming in. There's a problem. These things, you usually find them after they whiz by you or when they're real close to you. That one was a little closer. It was 4/10 the distance between the Earth and the moon. Not quite as fast, not quite as big, but that one's to be concerning too. It's one of their darker color there. All right. But they're gone. We don't know of anything coming at us, but it don't mean there's not something out there we just haven't found yet. You see, these got the numbers 2022, and they got a T. That means that it was discovered late in the year. So we just found these two. We did not know about these last time I looked at this. When was that? Wednesday? Anyway, stop share. I'm going to do a different share. Now we're going to talk about prophecy. Hey, Ace. Appreciate that. Now, see, that's Ace. That's the guy that called me. This is the guy that called me. He just gave another super chat. Appreciate it, Ace. All right. Oh, yeah, by the way, Ace, I had this phone where it wasn't working at all. I just put another phone there. And the oddball thing is it don't, well, I really don't want a phone ringing loud when I'm here, but it don't ring at all. Even when I need to hear it. All right, so I just happened to look at it and see it was going. The magnetic pole is shifting. Our regular pole is, that'd be a very small thing. Let him know. Yeah, he knows that. Yeah, if you badmouth China too much, they will delete you on here. Even though I do talk about China, but yeah, I'm very careful how I do it. And you know, I did talk about Xi Jinping and the CCP, but you know, you got to be careful on here. He told me some interesting stuff, Jesse. He had some interesting intel I need to keep an eye on. I'll dig into that. But look, guys, that's an issue. I don't want your garden registered. Oh boy, yeah, fat chance of that. The government's too big for their britches. Well, I said all governments are evil. What I say earlier, all governments are evil. That's a good context to leap off to my next little thing here. Here we go. We're going to do this. Ding, ding, ding. That's just so late into the video. I probably should do this in a video all its own. This isn't quite, just don't get through the whole song. I'll make all this do what it needs to do. My voice is hoarse tonight, so I may not do worth the dog at it. All right, let's see if I make everything roll the way I want it to. Bear with me a minute here, guys. Bear with me a minute. All right. Let's see. All right. Preacher man says it's the end of time, and the Mississippi River, she's a going dry. The interest rates up and the stock market's down, and you only get mugged if you go downtown. I live back in the woods, you see, my woman and the kids and the dogs and me. I got a shotgun and a rifle and a four-wheel drive, and a country boy can survive. Country boy folks can survive. Yeah, go to greengregs.com. Check. I got my website. Yeah, this website was down this back. So get that, guys. So let's think about this here. Now, there's more song. I haven't made charts for the whole song, but where are we at, guys? Seriously. Everything you talked about, all the chance for nuclear war. The preacher man says it's the end of time. Putin's incredibly dangerous. And the Mississippi River, she's a going dry. The interest is up and the stock market's down, and you only get mugged if you go downtown. I live back in the woods, you see, my woman and the kids and the dogs and me. Well, my kids are all grown up. I ain't got a woman no more. Maybe one of you women would like to fix that. And country boy can survive. Yeah. There we go, guys. Isn't that cute? Cute family, dogs, guy in his tractor. There we go. Can't make us run. Yeah, that's one of those. That one go better with the stanza later on in the song. Cause you can't starve us out and you can't make us run, cause we're them old boys raised on shotguns. We say grace and we say ma'am. If you ain't into that, we don't give them. All right, guys. I'm not gonna sing the whole song tonight, but you get the point. Oops, that might get me in trouble on this platform. But the video's not about that. I hope it don't get me. Oh well, we'll see. Trying not to. Boy, it's so hard to talk about anything on this platform. It is just tough stuff, share, unless you want to talk about poodle dogs. Poodle dogs. Yeah, we can do a channel and just talk about kitty cats, poodle dogs. I should probably have to watch what we say on that too. Family tradition. Hank, why do you drink? Hank, why do you roll smoke? Yeah, it's one of his older songs. Yeah, I like the song. Heaven ain't a lot like Dixie. I don't want to go. Ain't got a grand old library like a dude down in Tennessee. Just send me to hell in New York City. It'd all be the same to me. He also says, I'm one of the chosen few to be born in Alabama. I'm just like my daddy's son. I know who I am. And I am, fortunately, one of the chosen few to be born in Alabama. We as a species deserve nuclear war. Nah. True, there are good people. I disagree with what you say, but I'm going to show at least you're not cursing. I do. So you'd wipe every human being out. Is that what you're saying? True. There's always good and bad. We've allowed the governments to be taken over. So I'm going to show you guys something. What I've shown y'all, one is there are people that are beginning to push back against these governments. Because people want pretty much the same thing. People just want a chance to live a peaceful life and raise their kids and have successful kids in the future. That's what people hope for. Governments want to control. Big corporations, unfortunately, often get involved in that, wrapped up in that too. Come to my channel and I'm going to show you something here. And we're going to do a little prayer session here and call it a night in a second. All right. I'll do a screen share again. Like that. Ding, 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 ding. Give me a second. Sure. All right. If you come to my channel, Green Griggs, if you want to explore the videos, the quickest way through them, because I got over 1,000 videos in here. Quickest way to get through these videos is this list will be 1,100. This is just a little bit of them. That's the playlist. Get videos. They should all be accessible. There was a while that you couldn't scan through all my videos. And I didn't know any other channel that was a case where I really think that YT picks on my channel. I really do, for a lot of reasons. Probably mainly because I talk about Freedom Restoration Foundation. So just come up here, click this bubble. and top universal habitat. And top. I've been up, guys, a long time. I got up early yesterday morning. Green Greg's universal habitat. That's a Martian version. There's a video in the earlier version. I've got an architect do a lot of work on this for me. There's the rose-colored glasses. Tells you there's good people everywhere, basically. We just all got different worldviews. Click on this video. Get through the ads. Skip around a little bit. Awesome. Greenhouse. That's a interior view. This is a notion of a home that's got real thick walls. You can have enough thermal mass to stabilize the temperature. This is a home you can live in, make a living out of, grow all your food in, and other things too. This is kind of looking down from the top. This is one notional vision of it. Now, actually, with 3D printing, you can build a house like this a lot cheaper than you would think. I've been looking at the cost of 3D printing. If you don't want to have labor involved, if labor is cheap for you, you can build it out of old tires and pound sand in them. But it takes a lot of labor to do that, or dirt. That's the cheapest material way, but it's higher on labor. Here we go. This is kind of a look to see at it, what it looks like. This concept I've come up with. This is your living quarters. It's all under the roof. It just takes 1/10 of an acre, which is actually less than most city blocks. Most city blocks are 1/12 of an acre. Hempcrete, yeah, I'll be fine with that. I don't, this thing is a philosophy in the way it's built mostly. The really thick walls. This would provide some solar heating, and you could vent this out. This is a girl that was my architect, Afi Beji. She's actually in Tunis, Tunisia. She was my architect for this stuff. She drew the art, and she's working with me, and I got to pick it up again on a Venus habitat that actually uses these homes inside of it. Each one of those is one of those homes. You can fill this whole circle with them. So I've been working on quite a few advanced things, guys. That's space con, how to put these things on ships, oceanic platforms. Got several ideas on oceanic platforms for these. I've got videos on this thing, this philosophy in Mars. We've got a Martian simulator with this stuff in it, guys. One of my buddies put it together. So that's sustainable harvesters, greenhouse operations. I got a bed like this in my greenhouse here. If y'all have seen it, aquaponics bed. And I pretty much copied half of them and half another outfit called Doodly D's when I did that. So I've done the aquaponics, I've done the raised beds. So I've done a lot of the pioneering steps for a lot of the stuff that's in here. This is a home you can grow all your food out of and have excess food to sell for a family of 4. Based on what the vase is done, but based on my video, if you watch it, I did with Jason Avers. You find 2 different solution sets that says 1/10 of an acre is sufficient. And you got workspace in here where you do other trades. You got plenty of space, do all kind of stuff in this thing. You'll be totally self-sufficient. You're not even need exterior energy. So one of our biggest problems is all the distributed systems we have today for energy, electricity, gas. I mean, if you got a home you can live in and make a living out of, you don't need, you put a 3D printer in it, you can only feed it. You don't need to go to the store as much. You don't need to travel as much. You're not having to go to work somewhere. Your requirements for driving will be a lot less. The roads will get less traffic. We'll need less roads. We're not going to need power lines and gas lines and water lines. You can rip all that stuff out of the ground and use up wire and other materials for other things. Office spaces will be antiquated. You won't need office space. You can work from home. You won't need as many stores, especially food stores, as you're growing all of your food you need at home or amongst your neighbors, except maybe some specialty items. You won't need 3D printers. They'll take care of a lot of logistics needs. Neighbors could have different specialized 3D printers for different jobs. You can trade back and forth. without doing all these things. We're magical. There you go, Brandy. So the whole idea with this is, if you've got a system like this, you're self-reliant. There's really nothing the government can do for you. You got everything you need, except maybe a court to adjudicate lawsuits, and just for civil law, prosecute somebody if they get out of hand, criminal activity. If the whole world lived like this, you wouldn't even need armies, or navies. If everybody's living in a house, anybody in the world can live in a house like this. You can build these anywhere and everywhere. You can build them out. If labor is cheap, like in third world countries, you can build these things out of tires. And when you got a house like this, you got a Western style of living without Western energy consumption. You could live really nice, really nice. Where's the beef? Well, there will still be farms. That's where we get the beef. There'll still be some bigger farms, but there won't be as much. You'll be growing your vegetables in this building, and a lot of other things. Yeah, and in fact, this concept, as I drew it in my original hand drawings, had aquaponics. There was fish in it, and I showed rabbits and different things. And you could actually put a lot of, see, I've got a whole basement here. It's over 2,000 square feet. It's 2,300 square feet just in the basement. The living area above it is 2,300 square feet for a family of 4. Then you got a garden area. It's 2,300 square feet. And you could even extend it by running tubes and aquaponics. So this is an aquaponics tank here, a fish tank. Here I show like a fish tank here. I got a rabbit here. Let's see if I can blow that up. We can see a little better. That's a rabbit. I got a log up here with some mushrooms on it. I got stuff growing up this wall. I got solar photovoltaic electric solar panel up here, because if you here's now I built these from aquaponics greenhouse. I built water heaters, and the sun heats water hot in that thing. It's steamy. It is steamy. It's hotter than my hot water heater in my house. So you can have solar hot water, and the biggest energy cost is heating and cooling your home and hot water. You got solar hot water. Your home is heat and cooled by a combination of the sun, air flows, and the subterranean temperature of the ground. If you want to cool it, you open a vent. The warmer air here gets sucked out, and it'll pull air through tubes running through the ground and cool your house. That's solar cooling, solar heating. A lot of thermal mass to make the temperature stabilize. Growing your own food. So you just need power to run your refrigerator, electrical appliances, computer, and lights. That's it. So your total solar need, your energy need, would be a lot less than what a normal house uses. Now, you're not going to need to be driving as much. So you're not going to spend as much money on gas. You may choose not to even want a vehicle. I don't think we should ever tell them about they couldn't have a vehicle, or a gas-powered vehicle, for that sake. But you're not going to need as much driving. And so your footprint will be a lot less, and it'll be less on your budget. Think about that. If you really wouldn't need a car if you didn't want one, you could save the cost of a car, the cost of the insurance, cost of the gas, maybe have a solar is smart nowadays. It depends, David. The batteries are still a big issue. Getting the lithium is a big issue. And lithium is fire prone because you can have dendrites form between the anode and the cathode, puncturing the separator membrane between them. And if that happens, you get a short circuit and the battery goes in the thermal runaway. And the oxidizer in the cathode will allow will burn up to 15% of the electrolyte in a typical typical lithium-ion battery, which means it can explode without any external oxygen. It can explode and burn like a torch or a little rocket motor before it exhausts the oxygen in the cathode, which is built into it. So it's like a solid fuel rocket, or a bomb, to be more descriptive. And they produce a luminous gas. So if you put them in a contained box, the box will blow up. So they're not safe. And we got a lot of little slave labor kids in Africa mining that stuff. So it's, and the overall energy footprint for electric cars is stinking. It's bad. It don't work. You're not saving anything. Time you mine that stuff and process it and do all the solar and everything else, all the inefficiencies in the power system, and our power grid is not resilient enough to handle all this stuff we're adding to it. What did California do? They mandated everybody to have electric cars, and the day after they told everybody to quit charging their cars so the grid was crashing. But that's California for you. Now, hey, I love the idea of electric powered bicycles. I'm thinking I want an e-bike. Physics and the challenge of thermodynamics. Yeah, there's a lot that can be done. A lot to be done. Child labor sucks. You're right there, Anton. That's what they're using, is child labor and slave labor of the Uyghurs to build the solar panels in China. This is not a pretty picture. They said we had a few electric cars blown up in the hurricane race. Oh, yeah. And why? What happens is you get a short across the terminals, that battery going to discharge. When it discharges, it gets hot. When it gets hot, it goes in a thermal runaway. When one cell goes in a thermal runaway, it heats the cell up next to it. It's called failure propagation. They start going zip, 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 zip. You get quite an explosive force. And you have a lot of these cars covered in water. And you don't want to do that with an electrical car. It's ugly. It's very expensive to replace. I had, oh yeah, here's the story. I had a pop-in-law, a dad-in-law, had a little Datsun pickup truck. He was trying to put a boat in the water, and his back brakes got wet. He backed the back tire in too far, and that gave way, and that truck started going backwards. I went out there and tried to grab it, and I was able to help keep that truck from floating way out. I mean, at least it didn't float away, because that thing filled with water. You ain't no keeping it from sinking. That truck sunk. The battery that was just a regular battery short circuit. When we pulled that truck out of the water with a wrecker, the horn was on and the lights were on. He didn't turn the lights on. He didn't turn the horn on. That horn's going, it's like pulling a living beast out of the water. And the lights shine, the horn. It was interesting. But it was just a regular lead acid car battery. It was going off. So we took that thing up to my brother-in-law's house overnight, all night. We drained all the fluid out of that thing and repacked it, and he drove that truck for years. Had that been one of these electrical vehicles, how much those batteries cost? $12,000, $20,000? I don't know. And then the fire could have burned the whole rest of the vehicle up. Yeah, best to buy 57 Chevy. I got two Chevy trucks. Yeah, I like those 57 Bel Airs. They're pretty. I got two Chevy trucks. I actually was a Ford man growing up, but I got a my first truck was a Chevrolet. It was a 50 model. I've had the same number of Chevrolets as Ford. Right now I got two Chevrolet trucks. I've had my last three trucks were Chevrolets. I've got I got my C30, 1976, and I got a 79 C70, 2-ton truck. It's got a 20-foot bed on it. Firefighters require special training to deal with electric car fire. Yeah. But, you know, it's going to burn the vehicle up, and then it's going to cost you a fortune. And the byproducts are toxic. That electrolyte, when it burns, it forms very toxic byproducts. So, yeah, you need special training, but it screws the environment too. So they're not, yeah, they got issues. But I'd love to get one of them little e-bikes, to be honest. The idea of having a bike that I could ride like a mountain bike through the woods and be quiet instead of these four-wheelers that everybody around going, those things would wake up the dead. I always thought it was interesting, all these guys on these so-called Bigfoot hunting shows, they were driving these things around, shining flashlights. Man, they'd scare anything and move off for 100 miles. We're going to find Bigfoot. No, you're not. You don't find anything. Running around like a bunch of fools in the woods, yelling and hollering and talking to each other, and lights shining, and motors going, and they never do find anything. It was a cat acting like a bunch of fools like that. But yet they get a TV show. Wow. Shows one, producers are stupid. People on the show are stupid, and people watch that. It's got to be just for entertainment, because there's no way there's any they would be able to find anything. Ace says, what I did, what's that? It's too bad we can't or won't use plutonium batteries or fluoride. Well, fluoride is a highly reactive chemical, and plutonium is nasty. But there's other battery options they're working on. They're working on solid state batteries, which should be a lot better. There's other stuff. I like you back. Now, see, one of the things about this habitat concept, was. Oh, I can't scroll back. I'm not in PowerPoint. Yeah, I got to do this. Maybe I should do another video. I'm going to get the scroll to redo some stuff in here. If you had a community of these, a full community, you could just have like bicycles and ride around the community. The space colony concept I had for a floating cloud city. You could build these cloud cities on Earth. This cloud city would float on Earth. The numbers I worked out was showing it in our atmosphere, and it'd be even more buoyant in the Venetian atmosphere, because the Venetian atmosphere is a thicker, heavier gas, far more, like way more buoyant. This is slices of it. Let's look below. That's the Martian habitat. Yeah, here we go. It's intended you'd have rings with these houses, not spaced out, that all be side by side, but you'd have streets that go up and down. Now, the way I drew it at the high enough angle, so that's actually 50 feet over 100 feet. That's a steep angle drop there, kind of like a football stadium. I drew it that, I come up with being that drop because I thought it'd be nice if you could have a 50-foot tree coming out of your house that did not obstruct the view of the neighbor. That may be a little too tall. I may have to cut that down. Look, there's a tree. We might want to cut it down a lot more and make this more negotiable. But, you know, I figure you could have little four-wheeled e-bikes inside with it and just drive them around. You know, you can control the weather in this thing. So that's all you need. And you can go anywhere in this thing in a zip in a hurry with a little four-wheeler e-bike. So, but that don't have to be on Venus. That can be on Earth, on the hillside or somewhere, you know. This is in a balloon. So I got 2 levels. I got another level down here, and I even got a big thing hanging up there. Oh, somebody else's video. What is this? Yikes. I don't know what I'm into here. Got in somebody else's video. Oh, it's just a commercial on my video. Okay, never mind. Hit a commercial. Anyway, we can have a big, bright future. They say there's too many people in the world. It's not true. It's not true, guys. If you took everybody that they project to live on Earth in 2100, when they think the population is going to be peaked out, they think it's going to drop after that. I think the whole world will fall into the Western depopulation. That's not a good thing, actually. But you could take 10 billion people. I think 9 billion is what they actually calculate, thought we'd peak out at. But if you took 9 billion people and put them all in homes like this, where they had everything they needed, they would cover an area no bigger than the area of Texas and New Mexico, or half of Alaska. They said we got too many people, and then the rest of the world will be empty, except maybe a moo cow farm. Yeah, almost moo cow farms. I need it. I need instructions, says Brandy. What is that? So, a new concept for low-cost batteries made more expensive, abundant materials. Yeah, they're working on quite a few concepts. Sulfur, yeah, they got solid states. They got, for municipal level, huge supplies. They got salt batteries they're working on. Get full bike. Oh, yeah, there's a lot of bike options out there, and they're interesting concepts. So I really toy with that idea. I like the idea of it. Anywho, especially just be able to run around the woods with something that's not like a four-wheeler going, or a motorcycle or a dirt bike. It'd be kind of like pedaling a bicycle. Except when you're getting up in years, it'd be nice to have that electric motors and assist. Had a guy drive up from Phoenix, bat almost out, asked us where the charging station was. That's funny, Jesse. From Phoenix? Wow, Jesse. All right, well, you're still with us. I thought you were. Okay, I'm glad you're still here. Me and Normie. No, good. No, Normie's here. You can charge it. Yeah, there's some people are coming up with solar arrays to charge your bicycle up. Of course, it's got to be sitting still when it's doing that. So a few people hoarding too much of the land and resources. Well, hey, all you need is 1/10 of an acre and you can grow anything just about, except for cows. Might do a miniature cow in your basement. Hey, I got rabbits here. I got fish. I got worms. You can have all that in one of these houses. Every bit of it. Every bit of it. Bought a tricycle. Okay. Cool. Let me stop this share. So what if you live in a house like that, you don't need the government. People are getting tired of governments. We don't need them. Only reason we need the government is to defend ourselves from some other government. If everybody in the world gets the clue and gets tired of this stuff, and we all get rid of all these governments, then we don't need any of them. Once you get rid of them all, we can live in peace. Normal is on the washing machine. All right. So I think there's why not put 4-stat in each wheel on a car? Well, there's a whole idea for having car engines, actually wheel engines on the car instead of in the center. So you can directly brake and accelerate them right there at the wheel, not having to use all the other drive stuff. But it could be mainly how do you keep that stuff clean from road trash is probably the biggest issue. I don't know. Maybe they can find a way to do that. A Jersey cow only takes moving it around on a rope and shed and all night. I said, hands them up. Now, we used to have an old Jersey milk cow, but we had a Guernsey before then. I liked the Guernsey. She was like a pet. The Jersey was mean. I loved the old Guernsey we used to have. She'd come up the darn door of the barn, stick her head out and lick you in the face, lick your head. Greg looked into salt battery. Nope, you don't like the idea of a salt battery? Yeah, there's various versions of that, but those are not the kind you'd put in a small device. They're working on those for really large scale municipal batteries with grid level power. Used to have a Jersey milk cow. Yeah, we had one. All right, guys, I'm going to show you another little chart. I need to repackage this presentation too, because most people didn't get it. Sometimes when I do these stuff in terms of these big long videos, people don't see some of the nuggets I throw out here. Oh, I'm going to have to. This is my computer reset. I got to call this up from scratch. Okay. Y'all want to see me finish this PowerPoint chart, go all the way through the whole song, Country Boy Can Survive, and do a video just on that? Y'all want to see that, guys? Should I do that? And we could run a car on a drop of water. And Granny says, cool. Granny, I hope you're doing better now. All right, let's see. What is that video? I think what I called it. There it is. I'm going to show you all the kind of transportation requires no fossil fuels, no battery power. This is a form of transportation that gets you all over the United States of America. Hang on. This is a totally environmentally zero footprint mode of transportation that actually works. Ding, 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 ding. Here it comes. Drum roll. The Goat Man. Ding. Chess McCartney. See the phone booth? He used to go all over the United States with his goat train. And the power was the goats ate the grass on the side of the road. The ram goats pulled, but he had nanny goats. One of them's riding inside his wagon. I've seen this guy a couple times cross through my area, my neighborhood. Here it is, guys. He had 2 wagons. These poor goats were pulling. That's a number of rams, though. But he would pull this thing up mountain, the Appalachian Mountains too. And when it's going downhill, they put the rams in the back, so they would be the brakes. and usually the nannies were in the back. But he drank goat milk. That's what he would drink. That was his primary food source, was goat milk. So he mainly lived off these goats. We got a spare tire. These are not inflated tires, guys. And these are heavy wagons. These are wooden wagons with steel frames, still heavy tires, and just loaded with junk. Prepare to meet thy God. So there's a hill. Where he's at here. Chess McCartney. That is the future of transportation, my friends. Well, you know, if you build one of these lightweight, put bicycle wheels and maybe cover the rims with just a strap of leather instead of an inflatable tire, so it lasts a long time, and make an aluminum frame with some lightweight fabrics, probably you wouldn't need near the goats he's got here to pull you around. Nowhere near that many. And your top could be covered with a solar panel. Goat cheese, yum. Yeah. I mean, it looks kind of crude here, but this could actually be made to look good. There's something to this. I may have to play with this one day just for fun. One of these days when I retire, I'm probably gonna build me a goat vehicle just for the fun of it. Make it a camper. He traveled all the United States many times, crisscrossing, and finally somebody attacked him, killed some of his goats, and beat him up, and he quit then. He was pretty elderly by then. All right, guys, be sure to join the Freedom Restoration Foundation, freedomrestorationfoundation.org, and check out our Survival Tribe Network. That's survivaltribenetwork.com. All right. I think it's time we do our prayer sessions here and call it a night. We've been going for 2 hours, over 2 hours. And I've been up for a long time. I got something to do before I go to bed. So let's see, flower pot on top. And without that, Granny, I struggle. I'm gonna pray for you, Granny. Gigi built the sheep cart. Sheep cart would work, yeah. Sheep cart, goat cart. Meta universe needs a goat man. I want to be the meta goat man. Let me be the goat man in meta. Yeah, 254 there. It's 154 here. So yeah, you're in Eastern. We need to call a night. Love how we did the electric car thing back in the early 1900s. Yeah, we did. Now back again. Goat powers always work. All right. That's a grid down car. A self-fueling grid down car. Hard to beat that. Thank you, Katie, for sharing that. Yeah, sheep cart. Yeah, goat cart, like a go-kart. Goat cart, literally. Now, I have been in little carts when I was a kid, and you had like one goat pulling it. Well, goats will pull you running fast. And it's like, wow. You get a kid in a little cart and goat pulling it. Yeah, that's fun. Greg, you got a bunch of people still watching. Yeah, we got 130 people here. Sure. People will hang out for the longest. I bet if I stayed here all night and didn't quit, I still have 100 people in here. But we got to call them out because I'm gonna be hitting the 24-hour mark here in a little bit. I got real early for the farmers market, guys. So let's do our prayer sessions. We're gonna pray for Granny Lana. She needs our prayers tonight. We're gonna pray for I have knowledge. Okay, we're gonna pray for your granddaughter Kaylee. We're gonna pray for prayers for them that sadly, yeah, there you go, Cha. I'll pray for Randy Blythe, the Blue Bottle Bunny Farm. We got to pray for our world. When is Greg starting an Arizona property? Well, yeah, I got to fix my roof here. I was planning to put a well in there. The well is going to cost a fortune, so I'm gonna have to. I got to make some profit off this place. I got to get this place in a profit. Right now, it's taking my money, and unfortunately, it's taking too much. But I got to turn it around and making the money produce. So I'm seeing that happening soon. It'd be happening now if I had the worm orders. I'm not getting worm orders. When I shut the worm farm down, I had 140 pounds a week of sales. So far this week, 4 pounds is all I sold, guys. So I need to work on getting worm sales back up. I had a problem on my web page for one thing. The website was down. Well, it wasn't totally down, but it was hosed up. So I had to fix the website. Now my computer here hosed up on this one thing after another. So it was a problem with the, if you know WordPress, Elementor, which I use, the WordPress runs these updates on the plugins, and it hosed it up. It hosed it up. Both of my websites, both Green Greg's and, well, the Freedom Restoration Foundation site was working, but you couldn't go in the back and change it. You couldn't do change it. And then my site got hosed up. We got all fixed. We had to restore it back to another point though. Yeah, Randy. Yeah, so it's really stinking. You know, I can't cover labor for help and things like that on these sales. I got a mushroom house which I've been building for over a year. Had the guy was I've had to fire 2 or 3 people on. One, the last guy was on some jail, and when he gets out of Limestone County Jail, I'm gonna have him thrown in Madison County Jail because he was a thief. So I'm gonna have, but I got a couple other people. It's just got a little bit of a roof leak, and I got a girl got the wild hair to want to put wood all inside of it, so just plastic and insulation. She said, "We can put vinyl on. We can get the vinyl cheap and clean it better." I told her, "She's gonna have to make this done in a hurry because I want that thing operating. I got to get that building going." So I could use more worms. Okay, VidCom, you can order them. Just go to greengregs.com. SCG for number, message me, or I want any. Okay, if somebody wants Granny Lana's number, you can message my cell phone. Phone on the website's not that, or you can email me. You can find my email off the website though. Granny, I need you talking to me on that though. I don't want to just throw your number out there to everybody, but you know they're close people here. It won't be okay. Unless you get some exception there, Granny. SGG for number. Message me, or I want any. I don't get what you mean by I want any, Granny. Need to explain to me. All right, guys, let's go into our prayer session. So we're gonna pray for Granny Lana. Anybody else? Nobody else put a prayer request in. I'm still getting right. Yeah, I've got tomatoes growing my aquaponics out right now. We're about to hit freezing. I'm expecting those tomato plants to survive because it's kind of a little microclimate there with my aquaponics. Okay, why don't you sell in Alabama and start doing your property in Arizona? Because I got tons of money invested here. No, I have put a fortune in this place. I want this place to operate independently. I'm going to find somebody to sharecrop it. And then I'm going to do the same thing in Arizona, get that place to operate. The whole idea is a big part of the shipment of worms cost is postage. If I could ship from both the East and the West, I could cut down a whole lot of postage costs, and I could spend more there. I'm planning to go out more to Arizona, and probably eventually that would be my main site. I got 40 acres to work with out there. I only got 2 acres here. Your daughter, Ashley. Okay, Vid, come on, pray for Ashley. Pray that World War III doesn't start. That's good when the end time. Very good. Yeah, we need to pray we don't get a World War III big time. You will know who to trust. Okay. All right, anybody that messages me needs to talk to me if you want me to share information. Please pray for my infected foot to heal. Okay, Tiger 69 Singleton will do that. Greg, pray for my wife. She's dealing with the long bug. Got you. A lot of people are. Tiger prayers. Okay, so all right, we got several prayer requests here. Yeah, pray for our world so we can get through this and have world raise our kids in, guys. I can do the work anyway. I will, but I do have a job here too. I got debt. I can't just walk away instantly. So that's all. I've got a plan of action. If the world don't destroy itself, how I'm going to get out there. I got goals, intermediate goals and things I'm planning to work. I see the worm farm here getting going real soon, but I got to get the sales back up. I mean, I'm selling. Man, it's ready. I just got to get the volume of sales up. Greg work. Someone that stays and works on it. Work away, you get someone that stays and works on your property. Taz, I have probably fired 150 people here. And if you hire 154 people if you're lucky, get 4 good workers that you can trust. It's bad. Go hiring people now. Bad. Have no debt. Your lucky drops. I didn't run my debt up. I had an ex-girlfriend got hold of my credit cards, and she worked wonders for me, wrecked my life for a long time. Pray the Lord takes Putler and does with him. I don't judge. All right, guys. Let's hey, does anybody know anything about RAV endpoint protection? I never installed that on this computer. I'm suddenly getting a message. It just popped up. RAV endpoint protection. Scan completed. 5 malware threats on your PC in the last scan. Action required. I got Norton. Why is Norton not seeing this? What is RAV? I've actually looked up this. It's an assistant system, but I didn't install it. How did I get this? Is it a Microsoft product? Everybody know RAV? They check into this. I'm afraid to touch it. I think I'm gonna have to run stupid Norton. Hard to find people to trust. Very much, especially in the wage labor category. Very hard. Norton Greg. That's what I'm thinking. I might have to run some other antivirus because I don't know this. I've never seen this. I've heard of it, but that don't mean that's what I really got. There shouldn't be anything popping up. Shouldn't be anything popping up, which means that is a problem. But I don't expect my Norton to catch it because Norton has let. I've had this computer totally hacked bad, running Norton scans every day. Oh, I clicked the X. I'll message her tomorrow later. I got ones. Okay. Yeah, VidCom, you can, my email is on the website. You can go into the website and order there. Just, there's 2 different, there's a button down in the middle of the website and click, it says buy worms, but there's also one at the top of the screen. Those buttons at the top of the screen weren't showing up until I had the site reset. Pine K, what is the likely chance that we will be going to war with Russia, NATO? In your opinion, what do you think the percentages is? Well, there is a lot of different possibilities there. I showed the MIT professor's projections on this earlier, and he thought it was about 30% that we would get into a condition where they would nuke, or where Russia would actually nuke Ukraine because Ukrainians were winning. And he further, and he further thought that if that happened, from that point, it's an 80% chance that it goes to full war. So scroll back, watch my presentation on that. It's all in here. I talked about it. So it's an existent possibility. I think kind of like the writer that it's not better than even odds, but any odds is bad. I mean, I wouldn't take a revolver and put a round in it and spin the chambers and put it in my temple and squeeze the trigger. I mean, it's kind of like where we're at right now. Question is, how many chambers is there in that revolver, and how many rounds are in the chambers? Maybe it's 100 chambers in one round. Maybe it's 6 chambers in one round. He thought it was like 6 chambers in a round, 1 to 6. But that was just for war with Russia. What's the probability of war with China? What's the probability we get hit with a solar coronal mass injection in the next decade, which NASA figures 14% per decade? When you start adding all these risks up, you're suddenly, with the risk we're looking at today, you're better than even chance of us losing everything within a decade. That's why we got to prep, guys. And that's why we need to work on corrective actions to keep things from happening, work on power grid defense and things like that. RAV possibly got bundled in with other apps you install. Now, this is no laptop. I'm not big. Might be part of the package that, yeah, I had this thing worked on a while back. I've not noticed that. I'll be checking into this. Microgreens is good business if you can get a restaurant to sell. Yeah, my problem with microgreens is that since I got a day job and all these other things, I don't get the time to go try to work with shelves. I spent months trying to chase shelves before. It's hard to get an appointment with them. Problem is you have to get an appointment to hook them or get them started, to introduce them, and then you got to get another appointment to close the deal. And the first appointment's hard to get. The second appointment, I would never. I put a lot of time in trying to get shelves, and I just never could pull it off. Now that's why I brought Leanne, and I'm hoping that she can do that. But we're looking at a totally different model right now. We're looking at doing that because we do have restaurants in the area. We're looking at a customer delivery model too, but we haven't worked all the kinks out of that. So we've just been selling at the farmers market. But we need to do more than that because the farmers market, I'm really not making money. So that's not, our operation skills are not big enough. But I'm building, if I combine that with mushrooms, then we got two really nice products that should complement each other. So that's kind of the thinking there. I'm in Asian with CNC machine, and we are not doing any work anymore due to lockdowns. Actually, are you in Africa? I mean, are you in China? Because China's in lockdowns. They got 200 million lockdown right now. So actually, are you in China? We got Patrick Bellamere today. Even inhabitant of this planet must contemplate the day when this planet will no longer be habitable. Well, if we do our job right, that'll be way down the future. But if we're not careful, it'll be tomorrow. Stupidest game ever created. We talking about Russian roulette. You ever see the Deer Slayer when the guy just played it for years? One guy could just over and over and over and over. Wow. A better chances of winning the lottery. I sure wouldn't be doing that. It's crazy. China, okay. That's rough with all the lockdowns. So AC, what do you think about the movement that's telling people to quit the CCP? Maybe you don't feel free to talk about that. I understand that. Or maybe you will. But you like my channel, Ace Lee? You know, I'm not always a fan of the CCP or Xi Jinping, but I love China. I love the people there. I've dated a couple of Chinese girls, and I've had an organization I created, HAL 5. I turned it over to a Chinese guy. This organization right here. He ran it for 11 years. I ran it for 21 years. That's why I'm my old 5 society. That's another guy running it. It looks like this figuring is right dead center of that, but it's really offset by a lot. It's just camera angle. Instant death. What, to talk about this stuff? I wish you were free to talk, Ace Lee. I'd love to talk to you. People work on my computer. Actually, there's a Chinese guy take my computer too. You need a web page just for worms and just for microgreens. And we have to put her flyers in restaurants. Okay. We're on a task. Separate. Well, Steely Dan just joining us. We're about done, Steely Dan. Drops, you have my number, do I? It's me, phone numbers drops. Big thing is remember the name. I don't know if I put it in my phone. Did you send it to me through Messenger? I remember you come across something else. Shoot, I get a lot of guys. I get a lot of stuff coming at me here. A lot of people. All right, let's say the prayers, guys. For those that ask for prayers, Ace, if you feel free to talk about something, go ahead. I know we couldn't exactly be on a Zoom session together, probably. But anyway, yeehaw. So let's say prayers, mainly for all these people we talked about, Judy and Granny Land and more. I should pray for Judy too. Well, you need to harden it. May go to gas control. Oh, let's say our prayers. We're about to call it a night here, guys. So I got a few things to do before I go to bed, and I got to get up in the morning too. Come on, guys, let's say our prayers. Amen. All right, guys, I'll tell y'all how to pray. We're not a religious channel, but we're a family. Family members pray for family members. We pray for the world. I do believe in the greater creator. All right. Ace, you've been following us for a while here. All right. And then we've been online here for about 2.5 hours. So it's time to call it a night. Thank you, everybody, for coming in here. Thank y'all for the super chats. I really appreciate that. It really helps, guys. We got a couple of people here with Ace in the name. Want to give us some super chats tonight. Appreciate that. That's 8. Of course, Ace, I'm not sure how you pronounce 8 bats, so I should have asked you when you called me. You got some other stuff to talk about. Okay. All right, guys. I think we need to call it a night. I am bushed and I got a few things to do. Kathleen Nelson just joining us. Well, good morning, Kathleen. We're going. We're calling it a night here. Yeah, Batsu. That would be Ace Batsu. Is that right? I was pretty close then, I think. Ring Greg's, you are the best person I know. You care. All right, Granny. Well, thank you. I try. You know, I try. Just remember, we're all a happy family here. Why do you think the creator left, or do you think they walk amongst us? I'm gonna do a video on that. I'm gonna do a whole video on that. It's gonna be a big explanation. We got a reason that we're here the way we are, and it makes sense to me, but it's gonna take a while to develop, to talk it through. And it starts with, my video is going to start with physics. Basically, a kid sitting on a bicycle on one side of the universe and you at a park bench on the other side. It's going to go from there. And we get to all the creation test. Yeah. That's a good way to look at it. That's a good way to look at it. Some of y'all have seen me talk about this. I call it my universe in a solo cup theory. Universe in a solo cup, so I've called it in the past. I've talked about it on Rex's Leak Project. I've talked about it a couple times on this channel, and I've talked about it even on Jeffrey Daugherty's channel once upon a time. Everybody remembers Jeffrey Daugherty. He got banned and shut down. He's tried to come back, and I don't know. That man is interesting, to say the least. All right. We are going to call it a night, guys. It's been a good night. Appreciate everybody being here. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thank you, Super Chatters, mods. You've been busy. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for watching. I know sometimes we get into kind of a misunderstanding sometimes between some of the people and the mods, but I think we got it worked out. Hopefully, everybody's worked out now. Anyway. All right. Yeah, weekend's half over now. Good night and have an awesome Super Sunday, everyone, and what's left of the weekend. Living in sin ain't passing the test. Okay, I didn't say it was. All right, well, maybe the test is whether you do or not. Okay, that may be part of the test. Anyway, guys, thank you all. Thank you all.